So before we will go into the lessons on how to crochet background netting, first we will have to make a few more steps that are very important. So we already, in the last video, I showed you how to connect all your motifs if you chose to do so, like I did. So I decided to go and crochet and sew to each other those motifs, those stems. Like here we have stems, here I have leaf and rose, and connect them together. So for now I will put this aside. I prepared a padding cord. Well, just correct name will be a cord, decorative cord that will be on the sides of the round composition, and our composition that we draw on the piece of fabric, now we have to flip it and put it wrong side. So this is our right side where we draw our composition. Now we will put it upside down this way. Probably upside down, not the right term to use, but let's say flip it. So after we flip this composition, let's secure our fabric to the padding board with the pins. After this, we will take our decorative cord and attach on the circle on the sides of it. I would suggest you first, it will be way easier, first to secure your hoop, embroidery hoop, on the opposite side, not from the in the middle, but on the other side with pins. That way your hoop, embroidery hoop, will not move around. So I just put my pins around it, around the hoop, that those pins will play a really good, they will do good for us. They will give us this support for embroidery hoop. It will just hold the embroidery hoop in place and will not wobble and move as we will attach our decorative cord. The reason I do that, you will see in a minute. It is way easier to connect the cord when you have the border here. Your lines or curved circle, the edge, decorative edge of your motif, of your composition will be perfect. It will be just perfect. Make sure to connect and flip your cord so that you will see this side. You see the stitches. This decorative beautiful side will be right now down, facing the fabric. It will be a face later when we will finish our project. This is going to be a right side. This is the wrong side. We're on the wrong side of our work right now. So what we will do, I will first make sure that the padding cord is touching the edge of the embroidery hoop. And now we will pin this, having this hoop on the board. It's just right now. Later, after we will fix this, after we will pin our embroidery, after we will pin our decorative cord, we will remove the embroidery hoop. I will take my chair to sit down and see what I'm going to do. It's going to be easier for me, and you can watch me as I do that. I will throw a few pins here, like that. And so what we're going to do, I'm trying to think if I will just zoom it for you, at least area where I will work. So make sure to pin your decorative cord, and you will need a lot of pins. You want that cord to be round and even without any imperfections. You want it to be actually round, not something else. So continue this and do it all around. I like to have a lot of pins, so that way my cord will stay perfect. And as you do that, hold the cord tight close to the border of your embroidery hoop. And so the same way, go and continue doing that. I will put this for now. Pins away on a side. And I will show you what next I will do. This is we're preparing already. Next step will be to connect composition to the board, and then we will remove this hoop and we will start our background netting. For background netting, of course, I'll have a totally different video for you. So I will not take my time and do all this boring job, so you will do it on your own already. And when you finish, this is when you can take your embroidery hoop. I will finish my work later, but I will just show you the steps I take, how this works. We will assume I've finished attaching my decorative cord, and I hope you already made your cord. By the way, you can make the decorative cord as Romanian cord also will look really pretty on this. So for now, we assume we're done. And what we're going to do next, so our composition will have to be also flipped. we have it right now. See, right side of it. Now, in order to crochet background netting in modern Irish crochet, we will never do that when we do traditional, right? So, but in modern Irish crochet, our composition is going to be flipped, and we will attach it on the wrong side of our work. So now we have, this is why you see I have those traced motifs, because I know exactly where I will put my motifs, and I don't have to worry about where they will go and create composition again. If I like my composition, I don't need to spend my time doing this again. So we will take our composition and attach to the padding board, following the directions of traced composition that we did before. To make it easier, you can take this flap on the leaves and make it flat over there. At this point, I'm doing this way. Now make sure that we are actually placing everything the way we want. Now with the rolls like that, we will have to connect, make sure that your cords facing your, let me show it to you, make sure that the cords, all of them, you face those visible stitches, okay? So they will be up, because we will connect to them our background netting. Not only that, you don't have to worry about your rows at this point, so you can put your sepals, straighten up a little. And as we crochet, we will later talk about how we connect to 3D motifs and so on. So I will make sure that everything works. And this is what I want. At first you don't have to really attach too much, but later you will see, as you crochet, you will add a lot more pins to your work. And so on. So we continue adding pins and make sure that all our motifs are placed in the traced area. This is where this leaf goes with that rose right here, and it's you know, it's standing out, but since we chose polyfoam, this is why I like polyfoam, because when you work with some 3D motifs, you can push them with pins into the pillow. And I like to move this flap for now on one side. It will be easier. Like that. And so on. So continue putting all your motifs. Now, the rose like this, let me show you closer. I want you to see that. So you see how our rose here, this beautiful, the way it turned. I like to see this edge, so I will turn it to face it facing the fabric. The same I will do with this rose, because I really like that curved edge. I want to show this, and the same I will do with this one. So everything you want to be seen on the face of your work on the right side, make sure it's facing away from you now and facing your fabric. So that will be it for now. This is all you need to do at this moment. And the next video lessons will be all about background netting. So first, make steps to take right now at this state of your work. So make sure that attach your embroidery hoop to the padding board, secure the embroidery hoop with pins on another side of it, that it will not wobble and move, and then make sure to take your decorative cord and align with the edging of embroidery hoop and pin it. After that, you're going to remove your embroidery hoop and work with composition. Pin everything to the padding board, making sure that all your rosebuds facing the fabric and the board, away from you, the side that you want to show facing the wrong side or the fabric. And this basically it. You're ready to crochet. And again, we are not going to use this rose in our composition. We don't want that big blob of stuff here. And another thing, that this will later help us, this platform for the rose will help us to sew our rose to the background netting. This is how it's I don't know how other people do that who crochet with 3D motifs, but this is my personal preference. This is how I do that. And believe me that as many women you will meet in Ukraine or Russia who make Irish crochet lace, I bet you they have their own different techniques. I did many things that others are doing. Some things I keep, I like the technique. Some things I changed, I discovered something I like. So, you know, you will do the same probably. One day you will make different projects, and you will figure out something of your own, and that's fine. So everybody's different, and we're all looking for different ways of making it easier for us. So that's it for now. Before we will do background netting, this is your first steps you have to take before we'll start netting, and we will do it next lesson.